Joining us right now is former Health and Human Services Secretary under President Obama, Kathleen Sebelius. Kathleen, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Nice to be with you, Maria.
What's your reaction to all of this? Obviously, it's not looking good for the law that you helped create.
Well, it isn't the law that I'm concerned about. It's the millions of people who now have financial security and health care. So I'm interested in seeing what it is that the Republicans in the House at least put forward, how it's scored by the CBO, and what it does to 20 million people who have health insurance now that they rely on and count on. I think that's the question, is what the Republicans have promised not to pull the rug out from under people. They have promised that the president himself has said he wants health insurance for everyone. So let's see the plan and see how we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rand Paul's plan, it seems like, is the plan that most GOPers are getting behind. But, you know, Paul Ryan said that the Republican plan will allow people the freedom to buy whatever plan they need. That includes, by the way, in one version, if you like Obamacare, keep Obamacare. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think there's any question. Maria, they are doing everything possible to actually make sure that there is no functioning marketplace. If you take away the individual responsibility piece, which the IRS says they will not enforce any longer, if you take away the fees that provide subsidies for 85% of the people to be able to afford the coverage that insurance companies offer, you no longer have a choice of plans. It seems that the Republican plan includes a drastic cut to Medicaid services, which now provide health insurance for 70 million Americans.
Yeah.
The most expensive part of that population is older, sicker individuals in nursing homes. So governors across this country, 31 governors, are going to see their state budgets in total turmoil. So we'll see what happens, but the 20 million people, the lowest uninsured rate we've ever had in this country, those are folks who are facing life and death decisions depending on what this replacement plan looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, to be clear, one of the GOP plans has the subsidies in there, but they're calling them refundable tax credits. So again, there are a couple of plans here that step on one another, but can you think of the most important or easiest way to make the Affordable Care Act affordable? I mean, this has been so expensive for business, so expensive for individuals. We know the premiums, individual premiums, they're going to go up 116% in Arizona this year. They're in the double-digit increases throughout the country this year. So what's most important in making this cheaper, less expensive?
Well, again, competition really works. This is a marketplace where competition works. So ensuring that companies participate, and what you're seeing is companies saying there is so much uncertainty, there is so much talk about repeal. The Trump administration did a pretty good job in their first 10 days canceling all the advertisement for enrollment, made sure that enrollment actually stopped in many states around the country. So they have done effectively exactly the opposite of what would make insurance more affordable, which is encouraging younger, healthier people to sign up, making sure that there's a robust enrollment. So a lot of companies are saying, look, I can't play in 2018. We don't know what the rules are. We don't know what is going forward. And again, if subsidies, I've seen a little bit of print about tax credits. What they say is it will no longer depend on your income. It will depend a bit on your age. You may get a little more subsidy for your age. If you're making 100% of poverty at about $11,000, $12,000 a year, you need more help buying insurance than if you're making $100,000 a year. But if I read the Republican plan correctly, that will all be gone, and then people will just drop out of the marketplace.
Yeah, I guess the other issue, as you mentioned, is getting those healthier, younger people involved in the plan. What's the most important way to encourage those people to get the health insurance?
Well, I wish I knew. You know, I don't know how many millennials or Gen Xers you are hanging out with, but most of them think they're invincible.
Yep,
I think to have attractive coverage, to make sure that folks know, you know, one fall on a basketball court and one ACL injury, you could be in debt for the rest of your life. So it has to be an attractive proposition, and it has to be something that they think is important going forward. Often their mothers are keys. I remember meeting with the NFL leadership, and they said the most important person in an NFL player's life is his mother, and we want them to tell the folks to sign up for health insurance, and I think that's a good message.
Yeah. All right. We'll be watching. This is an important moment, Kathleen. Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, nice to see you,
This morning,
Maria.
Kathleen Sebelius.